down that Myanmar left-hand side.
Suzuki now playing on the right for Singapore. Well, Morwin gives away a free kick. The referee is not pleased with the challenge.
It was an elbow thrown as shown by the referee.
Free kick quickly taken, and John Wilkinson right now. This is Agul Kashmir. Does it stand? Well, the Myanmaris will be complaining to the referee. Oh, that's a challenge. An attack on the referee. This is getting into a very, very controversial scene here that we have seen before about the Myanmar players. Volatile, easily provoked. The players are obviously extremely upset with the referee for allowing the free kick to be taken very quickly. And the match officials are on the field as well.
We've seen this before, Bernard, haven't we? The last time we saw Myanmar lose their heads was guess against Singapore in that semi-final in 2004, where the players surrounded the referee, pushed the referee, started throwing bottles at the Singapore players, and it's all turned ugly yet again, only because Ong Ong Oo wasn't too happy with the referee saying that you could take the free kick early. The rules are that you can take the free kick early as long as you get the permission from the official, and Din Dung probably had the call to say, yes, I can take the free kick early, and he went on with it. Myanmar players had to be a little bit more alert, but they were busy just complaining to him about the free kick being given away. And because of that, the players weren't alert in defending. Suzuki stayed on the ground. The Singapore players decided to play the free kick without Suzuki. There's nothing wrong in that whatsoever. The Myanmar players, as you can see from here, there we go. He had the permission from the referee. He played it early on. Ong Ong Oo watched it. He was watching it all the way, so he had no arguments against the referee then. He can't go up and push the referee in any case whatsoever, and he had no arguments because he was alert to the situation. He prevented Johnny Wilkinson from scoring in the first place.
And as you go, Ong Ong Oo attacking the referee there. This will be an interesting decision if the referee will have to send Ong Ong Oo off. Yes, he has.
Well, even if you do it to a fellow professional, fellow player, that might have been a red card, but to do it to the referee and to do it to the authorities, that is disgraceful. It might mean Myanmar getting out of the competition. The last time it happened against Singapore, they faced a long ban, and it might happen again. And Myanmarese players are a little bit more mature this time around. They should know better, but I guess it's the Myanmarese temperament that's taken into play yet again. And once again, it happened against the Singapore side. Unbelievable scenes.
Well, history repeating itself again, not just once, twice, but 3 times if you recall, Mark. Myanmar, of course, staged the big protest against Singapore in the 2005 finals, or rather could be a 2006 final, 2004 finals, I beg your pardon. And of course, remember the last finals against Thailand, there was a major decision call as well at the National Stadium.
At the walkouts before the penalty kicks, Indra is trying to calm Ong Ong Oo down. They know each other, the players around this region. No Alam Shah, who took the free kick. Myanmar players are telling him, why did you take the free kick early? Well, why not? That should be his answer. Ong Ong Oo will be sent off, and that is the right decision by the referee. But it's disgraceful scenes. We set it up at the start. The last time these two sides played, the disgraceful incidents that happened here in Singapore at the National Stadium. We said it was the same weather conditions. We didn't know. It's a different referee altogether, of course, but we didn't know it's going to happen all over again. And Din Dung, I think, made a very brave call. He allowed the free kick to be taken quickly. It is a little walkout here by the Myanmar players. The coach, Falopa, has got to calm them down a little bit now. He's got to need the help of all his officials to talk to the Myanmar players, but he's got to calm them down. There's nothing wrong with taking the free kick early. There you go. He's saying, look, go out. Go get involved. Radi Abramovich, I don't know why it always happens to a Singapore side. I guess everybody wants to beat them. And when a decision goes against them, they think it's officials favoring the defending champions or the favorites. But as I said, Bernard, there is nothing wrong with the free kick whatsoever. John Wilkinson was onside after the free kick had been taken. It was given permission by the referee. They tried to surround the ball to make sure that Timur Alam Shah took a longer time to take it. But if you're surrounding the ball, it means that you're alert to the situation. You know that a fast free kick might happen. It did happen. The goalkeeper was alert to the situation. He saved first off. The defense were arguing with the referee. They didn't retreat back, and Agul Kashmir scored. Now, I don't see anything wrong with that at all. I think the referee made the right decision, and the Myanmar players will have to live with it.
And the Myanmar players are obviously still not happy with the decision, despite the keeper being sent off almost immediately by the referee. And the Myanmar players are obviously staging a mini walkout, so to speak. And this is where cool heads will have to prevail, if not amongst these players, these very temperamental players, but certainly with the match officials. And of course, this referee himself, Pong Ding Dung from Vietnam, he will be able to make the call to perhaps even award the match to Singapore if these Myanmar players refuse to play.
Well, if they refuse to play, and the Indonesians might have to suffer for it, because if it's a walkout, they might it might not be the score line here. They might even add a couple of goals to it. We don't know what the rules are, but it will mean Myanmar being out of the next competition, being out of the SEA Games. They can't just think for the now, it's for the future as well. The fellow teams and fellow Myanmar footballers will suffer because of this. They have to come back to the field of play, clear their heads a little bit, and come back to the field of play. Look, it's only 3-1.
It seems that referee is going to make the decision as the Singapore players are still waiting if this game is going to continue. As referee Pong Din Dung seems to be marching towards the Myanmar officials.
It's a huge disgrace, especially for the regional competition. I mean, ASEAN football needs a little kick up. I remember the 1998 tournament where there was a disgraceful match between Indonesia and Thailand where both sides didn't want to win that one, and it ended up with a Thai player scoring an own goal on purpose. Both those sides received 1-year bans, rightfully so. I thought it was all a very lenient punishment already. And then you're right, Bernard, about those walkouts. Myanmar side had that little water bottle thrown at S. Subramani a couple of tournaments ago, and in the last tournament, Thailand themselves had that walkout against Singapore, but they did come back to the field of play to protest against the penalty being awarded to Mustafa Farudin. Singapore went on to win the tournament.
Absolutely, and of course we got confirmation that the incident that Myanmar, of course, had a big match with Singapore where they walked out and protested, and of course the famous water bottle incident against Singapore's Subramani was in 2004 in the semi-final clash with Singapore at the National Stadium.
That's the coach on the right-hand side of your picture, Palopa. He's now arguing with the officials, his very own officials. I think he wants to get back into the field of play, and his officials are almost signaling to the players not to go back in. Well, this is disgraceful because they have to just take the decision as it is. We've seen free kicks around the world being taken early. As long as you get the permission from the referee, you're allowed to take free kicks early. And as I said, the players did defend it. It wasn't as if they stood still and allowed Johnny Wilkinson to have a free-potted goal. The goalkeeper did defend it. And then when it came back to Abu Kasper, there was a defender on the line trying to defend it. If you have a look at it, they were arguing about this decision, which was the right decision. It was a free kick. Sutiai went down, and as he was riding on the ground, Bernard, they kept arguing with the referee about that decision. So what is the decision now? Are they upset with the free kick being given away, or were they upset with the free kick being taken early? Both sides are losing fights or losing accounts because the referee made a correct decision on both counts.
Well, the players are finally cooled down and marching back onto the field, the Myanmar players. And it seems like the game will continue.
Player number 10, Sue Myat Min, replaced by number 22.
Well, Myat Min, the captain, has made way for the keeper, Kiao Zin Tet, who has come in to replace Ong Ong O, who was sent off for pushing the referee. And he was the first to react. He was absolutely furious with the way the goal was sort of like awarded, in his opinion.
Now the players have to watch. The last time that happened, of course, Myanmar had like 3 players sent off against Singapore in that semi-final. Ingashada, not the time to come in really, because he might be at the receiving end of some wild and reckless challenges from the Myanmar defenders, just trying to get back at the referee. They have to watch their heads now. The captain had him just raging on the sidelines.
And there you go, referee Pong Din Dung has blown for the final whistle. A man involved in all the controversy. Our group, of course, celebrated with 2 goals for Singapore. And Noor Alam Shah's opening goal made it 3 against Myanmar. Myo Min Tun 3-1, but of course a lot will be spoken on that special, or rather the controversial moment.
And I think that the referee did everything right with that controversial moment. He allowed the game to stand. It'll be good as well for the referee. I mean, you have to be lauded by the referee. He's getting sarcastic applause from the Myanmar players, but the AFC have to look at the referee, Pung Din Dung, and as much as we criticize referees for their performance, we have to give credit where it's due. It takes a very brave referee to say, hang on, I gave the permission, the goal does stand. He did allow it to stand. Despite all the protests, despite him being pushed, he never once flinched and said, I'm going to go back on my decision. I think that the referee did brilliantly well. And Singapore on the whole as well, as I said, let not that moment take away any credit from the Singapore team. I thought the Lions played superbly well in this match and deserve every credit of theirs to get through to the semi-finals yet again of the ASEAN Football Championship.
Well, Singapore through to the semi-finals. Final score 3-1. Singapore defeated Myanmar. The next match against Indonesia happens on Wednesday, or rather on Tuesday, and you will catch it here on Channel 5. With that, on behalf of Mark Richmond, this is Bernard Lim saying good night from the Gelora Bung Karno Stadium in Jakarta, Indonesia. This has been the AFF Suzuki Cup 2008 on Channel 5.